Welcome to Bible Wisdom Studio, the channel that brings you God's message for your everyday life. Here, we share powerful Bible stories, Christian motivation, and faith-filled reminders that God is always with you. Get ready, your spirit is about to grow stronger. God spoke to Jacob and said, "Arise. Go to Bethel. Live there. Build an altar to me." Jacob gathered his entire household and said, "Put away every foreign god, purify yourselves, change your garments. We are going to meet the God who answered me when I was in trouble." They surrendered their idols, and Jacob buried them under an oak tree in Shechem. As they traveled, the fear of God fell on every city around them. No one dared to touch them. Jacob arrived at Bethel. He built an altar and called it El Bethel, the God of the house of God. There, God appeared to him again and said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel. I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. Kings and nations will come from you. The land I gave Abraham and Isaac, I now give to you." Jacob set up a stone pillar, poured a drink offering, and worshipped. But on the journey from Bethel, tragedy came. Rachel entered hard labor. As her soul was departing, she named her son Benoni. But Jacob called him Benjamin, the son of my right hand. Rachel died and was buried on the way to Bethlehem. Jacob set a pillar on her grave, a memorial that still stands to this day. Later, Israel returned to Hebron. And there his father Isaac died at 180 years old. Jacob and Esau buried him together. Recap 2 The generations of Esau, Genesis 36. Esau, also known as Edom, moved away from Jacob. For their flocks were too many to live together. His descendants became chiefs, tribes, and kings, who lived in the land of Seir. These are the people known as the Edomites. This chapter closes the story of Esau and prepares the way for the story of Joseph. Recap 3 Joseph's dreams and betrayal, Genesis 37. Joseph, only 17, cared for the flocks with his brothers. Israel loved him more than the others, and made him a beautiful coat of many colors. His brothers hated him for it. One night, Joseph dreamed, "We were binding sheaves in the field, and your sheaves bowed down to mine." They hated him even more. Then he dreamed again. "The sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to me." Even his father questioned it, but kept the thought in his heart. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers in Shechem. They saw him coming from a distance and said, "Look, here comes the dreamer." They plotted to kill him. But Reuben said, "Do not shed blood." Joseph was stripped of his robe and thrown into a dry pit. As they sat to eat, a caravan of Ishmaelites passed by. Judah said, "Let's sell him. He is our brother." So they sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver. He was taken to Egypt. When Reuben returned and saw the pit empty, he tore his clothes in grief. The brothers dipped Joseph's coat in goat's blood and brought it to Jacob. He recognized it instantly. "My son. Joseph is surely torn to pieces." Jacob wept and refused to be comforted. And while he mourned, Joseph was sold again in Egypt, to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. The chapter ends with the quiet, unseen truth. Joseph's journey is just beginning. God is working behind the scenes. Ending of the moral message. Genesis 35 to 37 remind us of 3 things. God still calls us back to the altar. God keeps his promises, even through loss. And like Joseph, sometimes betrayal is the beginning of destiny. When God has a plan for your life, no pit, no jealousy, no betrayal, and no circumstance can stop the purpose he has written for you. Thank you for watching. Remember, God is writing your story, even in the moments you don't understand. Stay faithful, stay prayerful, and keep trusting his timing. We'll meet again in the next message. God bless you.